Dre Clark, will come back to you as necessary once things get going there. Thank you. Here with us now, Rena Shaw, political strategist and commentator, also former senior congressional aide. The intersection of the law and politics yet again playing out in a Manhattan courtroom. And many think that the fact that the former president even took the stand was a political move, that he wants to be inside this courtroom is a political strategy. Has it had an impact on the GOP primary? What are politicians saying about this move?
I think before the votes were even cast in Iowa, there was the court of public opinion already rendering their essentially verdict for the former president. Former President Trump understands that. He knows there's legal proceedings. And then again, he can sway the sentiment of those who support him the most fervently in that court of public opinion. And so you and I both know, Marnie, when we look at these kinds of things, there are tribes, and perception is reality depending on what tribe you're in. And so we do look at the MAGA faction as having the president's back, but there are a number of skeptics on the Republican side, or maybe even those who find themselves to be more centrist in nature politically. These are people who have concerns. They feel, how come everything is raining down on the former president all at once? Of course, the main principle here is that justice takes time, accountability takes time, and this is a civil trial. This is separate from the criminal indictments the former president is facing in 4 different jurisdictions. But there is, again, a sentiment that maybe on the right, and I have heard this over and over, that maybe E. Jean Carroll was put up to this. And that's a tough one to break through to on the Republican side.
As we watch this case and closing arguments play out, there's another major development in the GOP race. The RNC declaring Trump a presumptive nominee. They have confirmed to News Nation that they have drawn up a draft resolution, or a source has confirmed to us. If approved, it would declare him the presumptive nominee for this 2024 race. Can they do that?
Well, there has been much talk about that over the past 24 hours in particular, because the member who put forth that draft resolution actually ended up withdrawing it. There is something called Section 11 within the RNC rules itself, and this is really inside baseball, but it's to actually, I'm mentioning it because it really means the RNC has to stay neutral. It says as much. They cannot, for example, back Speaker Johnson in a race against another Republican. And so the fact that this resolution was getting some steam yesterday, but again, is now withdrawn, has caused a great deal of consternation within Republicans. I myself was a delegate to the Republican National Convention in 2016. And I can tell you, just apply common sense here. Why would any member of the RNC want to go ahead and declare Trump the presumptive nominee? They want this race to be over. They want to go ahead and start the proceedings so that they can start to ingratiate themselves with what could be a future Trump administration. Don't forget, the party leadership structure is stacked with loyalists. And over the past 8 years in particular, many of them have grown deeper and deeply connected to former President Trump. And so therefore, they would like to look good to him at this point. But the Trump campaign and President Trump himself has now said, no, they don't want this kind of resolution making its way forward at this time, and that he wants this figured out at the ballot box. I think that's his advisors reining him in.
Right, and party leadership rewriting the rules here could certainly backfire. The other thing that's happening, Rena, is Trump is threatening to ban donors who support Nikki Haley. What's been the reaction to that?
Oh, there's been a mixed bag of reaction because, look, there is a lot of the GOP today that traffics in revenge and fear. And that's just facts, because if you look at how many of these members of the House or Senate conduct themselves in front of their constituents, it operates from a place of fear. And so you do have people who, again, have the former president's back, who say these people are not with us. They don't want party unity. And I say this, we deserve a process. We do not want a coronation. We've heard this phrase over and over from folks like me who are insiders, because this is a very deserving, qualified, credible candidate in the former governor of South Carolina. Nikki Haley poses a really, really good prospect to knocking off whoever her Democrat challenger is this fall, even if it's not the current President Biden. So I think, again, very mixed reactions. Some people want revenge against the Haley donors. Others are saying, why are we doing this? We need to have a process that plays out. I agree with the latter sentiment.
Yep. And Nikki Haley digging her heels in, saying she is not going anywhere, plans to continue in this primary. Rena Shaw, thank you, and happy weekend to you.
Thank you. Happy Friday.
All right, in very